Hey folks, today we have another keyboard video. Many of you know that I bought a Unicomp keyboard in 2012 and was not too pleased with it, mostly because of the plastic molding. The keyboard mechanism itself was great. I was very happy with that, but the molding quality of the plastic was very, very bad. So, I ended up selling it to UXW Bill, of all people. He seems to be enjoying it just fine. I just wanted my main keyboard to actually look okay. So, yeah, it was kind of disappointing. So, what I did is I tried them again. From what I learned, the classic 101 and 104 are both still use the old molds that IBM, Lexmark, and MaxiSwitch used to make the keyboards. So those molds are well over 23 years old and are being used past, when they really should be. So that's what somebody at Unicomp told me back in 2012. So I decided to try them again. I got the Ultra Classic this time, which uses a completely different mold, one that's actually a little bit more current. So it won't be as much of an issue with the quality of the plastic molding, I'm hoping. So I got the 103 key version of this keyboard. Plastic molding doesn't look a whole lot better. There's blemishes and stuff on the keyboard, so... Well, we'll take a look at it regardless. Alright, I unwrapped the keyboard and everything. So here is the Ultra Classic model of the Unicomp Model M. For those of you that aren't aware of who Unicomp is, they acquired the tooling to make Model M's from Lexmark. Lexmark made IBM Model M keyboards after IBM decided to stop making them themselves. They outsourced it to Lexmark and MaxiSwitch. And after those two, it went to Unicomp, and it's been with Unicomp ever since. So they have the technology for the buckling spring switch. So they've continued production up to this day. As you can see, the plastic quality isn't amazing. You can see like blotches and stuff, and there's a little like divot right there. And there's another one here. But the rest of the keyboard, plastic-wise, looks completely fine for the most part. Now, you can see some stuff here and here. So, really the molding. It's really the molding quality that's not the best. The plastic itself is actually pretty good. It's nice and sturdy on the Ultra Classic. If you get a Classic 101 or 104, the plastic is not going to feel very sturdy. It's the same molding that they used to make the original Model M, so it uses the same case. But the thing is, the plastic will be a lot more flexible than it should be on the Classic 101 and 104. Whereas on these, it's actually pretty rigid. So it's a good idea if you're going to get a Unicomp to get the Ultra Classic sort of build design. It's just generally a much more robust design for the type of plastic that they mold these out of now. And the keyboard feel is just the same. It's unmistakable. It's a Model M. Here's a real Model M. And here's the Unicomp. You can hear the difference. There's a metal plate in the back of this one, while they don't do that in the Unicomps anymore. And you can really hear that in the Spacebar. Now you may be asking yourself, or you may be asking me, you already have a Model M, why did you buy a Unicomp? Well, the Model M has one thing that's become a flaw for me. It didn't used to be, but now it really has. Having no Windows key kind of sucks, because I use the Windows key a lot for Start Search. Luckily, Unicomp offers keyboards with the Windows key. The funny thing is, they didn't used to be this small until about 2013. They used to make the Windows key a lot bigger and make these two keys smaller. This is also the 103 key model, which means that it does not have a Windows key on this side, so it makes the spacebar the same size. as the original Model M. So you can see the spacing is pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, it is exactly the same. And I got the 103 key model for that reason. I like a nice big spacebar. Plus, I have Windows keys, so that's really nice. I also bought it in PS2. You can still get these in PS2, so that's really nice if you want to use it on an older machine, or you just happen to like PS2 better than USB, or like me, if you have a KVM switch that uses PS2, and you need PS2 to continue using it. So I ordered this in the PS2 variety, and I'm going to continue to use it that way. Probably till Kingdom Come, hopefully. My plan is I wanted to get one of these Ultra Classics, and I want to get an Endura Pro. The Endura Pro is the kind that has the built-in track point right about here, and that's why you see this blank here on this particular molding. They use the same type of case design for the Endura Pros, and those have a built-in track point. So you can still get buckling spring Model M keyboards with a built-in track point. They're just not going to be in this case style anymore. If you want that, you need to get a Model M13. But that will be a lot more expensive than getting one of these. So I'm halfway there. I wanted to get this and an Endura Pro. The Endura Pro will probably be my next keyboard after this one. This go around I think is much better. I remember the Spacebar on the one I ordered in 2012 had a really big dip in it. I'm sure it's UXW Bills still has that dip in it. But the dip in this one is not nearly as noticeable. You can't even see it, really. Even if you look closely at it, you just don't see it. And the nice thing about Unicomp's Model M is many of the features are still retained. Now, this is a Model M from the year 1988, so you can tell it's old because the logo is not blue. The old ones had a detachable cable. Unfortunately, that did not carry over to the Lexmark and Maxi Switch varieties of these keyboards. So, and they're using the same tooling that Lexmark and Maxi Switch did, so unfortunately, by that time, they did not have detachable cables anymore. So if you wanted to change the cable, you just have to open this up and solder. It's doable, but, you know, these things have a warranty. So I wouldn't do that right away if I were you. The one thing they did retain is the ability to take the keycaps off, which is really nice. You can also do that on the Unicomp Model M's. There you go. So many of the features still exist on these. The other advantage to the Unicomp keyboards is you can also buy these in USB. That's what I'm going to do when I get the Endura Pro, is get the USB variety of that. That way I have a Unicomp that's PS2 and I have one that's USB, and it's actually worth getting the USB version of the Endura Pro, because if I remember looking at the website right, it's only one cable for both the track point and the keyboard, whereas if you get the PS2 version, it's two separate cables. So that'll be nice. So, the modern Model M, basically, right down to a new case style and everything. It's a much lower profile case style. I really like it. It's really slick, actually. I didn't think I would like it, but it looks good. The only real difference is the original Model M had this big thing up here that you could use for a tray. This one doesn't, so I'm gonna have to get used to that. So let's look at the bottom of the keyboard. They put a Unicomp label on it. This particular keyboard was made November 12th, 2014. So this keyboard isn't even a year old yet. Made in the USA. I like that. As you can see all these like blemishes and stuff in the plastic. Look at all this. And this especially. Wow. Look at that. Wow. So this is where you want your blemishes to be, is on the bottom panel, because who cares? You're not looking at that. These keyboards still have the really strong plastic feet, which is really nice to see. They use 5 volts. Unicomp. So there you go. That is the Unicomp. That is the Unicomp Ultra Classic in the 103 key variety, which of course gives you that longer spacebar. Now, some purists will say, I only want ones that are actual IBM. Well, the truth is that the technology is exactly the same. The typing feel is exactly the same. So it really doesn't matter. The only thing that you don't get is the steel plate in the back of the keyboard, and you don't get the insanely tough plastic that these IBM Model M's had. This plastic's a little bit cheaper, but it's still pretty rigid if you get the Ultra Classic variety of the Unicomp keyboard, because it offers a little bit more structural integrity. Alright, let's give it a shot. Whoops. Feels great. Yeah, feels just like typing on a Model M. It feels fantastic. The only real difference is that the springs feel a bit worn out on my 1988 model, while the springs on this are a little bit more springy just because they're newer springs. That's about all the difference you're going to get in the typing feel. It's a little bit more, it pops more with these Unicomp keyboards. I really like these a lot. I definitely recommend using them. They're very nice. So, there you have it. This is, if you wanted to know what I type, this is it if you're curious. I was just typing anything that came to my head. And I made no mistakes. Well, I did make a few mistakes, but I just deleted and went back and fixed them. And there you go. The Unicomp Ultra Classic 103 key. I think this will be a very nice keyboard to use for many years to come. My next Unicomp keyboard I'd like to get is the Endura Pro. It might be the Endura Pro, or it might be that bigger one with the trackball. I'm not quite sure yet. One of those two. Probably the Endura Pro, though, because you can see the beginnings of it right here. It's the same case as these. So, yeah. Got the Ultra Classic 103 key. Hopefully I can get the Endura Pro 103 key as well. If not, that's fine. I'll get it anyway. But yeah, there you go. That is the Unicomp Ultra Classic 103 key. The Unicomp keyboards are fantastic, especially if you want a different color scheme for your Model M and don't want to pay the money for an M13. Pretty cool stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a good one, everybody.